been filled with success and big name players and big moments at the Women's College World Series, and we'll talk about that as this weekend goes on. We're going to get a great look at the Dukes. We've got them for this game and their 2 games tomorrow against Texas A&M and Florida Atlantic. Just about set to go. They will face off with a sophomore left-hander who stands 6 feet tall from Massachusetts, Samantha Lincoln. Had a great opening weekend. No walks, 11 strikeouts in 10 innings pitched last weekend, and a couple of 5-inning wins.
She's another pitcher that's going to be a key piece to this Texas Tech team. When you think of Texas Tech, of course, you think of Nigeri Kennedy, you think of Caitlin Terry, but Samantha Lincoln is going to play a big role for them, coming from the left side as well. Ton of different speeds, drop ball, curve ball combination.
Second pitch swinging out to left field. There's out number 1 to retire the leadoff, Kylie Gleason.
Hits it out to Caitlin Terry, who's playing left field, seeing a bunch of two-way players in this game on both sides of the field. Of course, Caitlin Terry being one of those players, Nigeri Kennedy being another one, Desiree Spearman as well for Texas Tech, and on the flip side, Peyton List, a phenomenal two-way player for the Dukes.
Emma Jo Evans, the shortstop. A true freshman from Belton, South Carolina, starting at shortstop for James Madison, set her high school single season and career home runs record. Had 13 in a single year as a junior, 36 total in her career. .1-0 pitch from Lincoln. Big cut right there from Emma Jo Evans. Is it me or are kids just getting stronger these days?
An easy 71 coming in there, right?
One catches the outside corner, 1-2. Jerry Glasgow likes Samantha Lincoln as that third starter behind Nigeri Kennedy and Caitlin Terry, and said the plan is for her to get the third start every weekend.
There's head coach Jerry Glasgow.
There is strikeout number 1 for Lincoln.
Went back upstairs with this rise ball against Emma Jo Evans. Kind of a similar game plan to the way that Tennessee's pitchers attacked her yesterday in the ball game. Going upstairs, swinging underneath that pitch. First strikeout on the afternoon for Samantha Lincoln.
There is so much talk about the portal with Texas Tech, but Jerry Glasgow, going back to his time as an assistant and as the head coach at Louisiana, is a great talent evaluator, has a great eye for talent. Samantha Lincoln is one of those who is off to a great start with a 1-2-3 inning. March on to the end of the Clearwater Invitational. Peyton List gets the start for James Madison, a redshirt junior from Beaver, Pennsylvania. Started her career at Virginia Tech where she redshirted, but man, she is a special player.
Really exciting to watch. Again, a field full of two-way players today. You're gonna see her throw mid-60s, that really spinny rise ball at the top part of the zone. Will change the eye level a bit with that drop ball and that curve ball change-up combination. But the spin, to me, is what makes the difference on that pitch at the top part of the zone to where she can get some weak contact from these batters.
She's not had the greatest start in the circle this season, but her bat is a game changer. This Texas Tech lineup presents some serious challenges. Maya Davis leads off. Desiree Spearman, you mentioned, a two-way player at shortstop in this game for Texas Tech. Had a home run and drove in 3 earlier in their win over NC State.
Maya Davis with a home run in that game as well. Little change to the batting order, again, for Coach Jerry Glasgow. Maya Davis was batting in that 2 spot earlier today against NC State. Mia Williams was batting leadoff for them.
So they flipped him. Very few lineups do you feel like you could probably just throw some names in there and it's going to work really well because you have stars 1 through 9.
And I think you have people that can thrive in a bunch of different roles on this team too. You've got a lot of power, you've got speed, both from the left-hand side and from the right-hand side. Makes it such a difficult lineup to navigate. And one of the questions that I asked Coach Jerry Glasgow, could this be a year where they have so much depth offensively, excuse me, do they plan their lineup according to what type of pitching that they're going to face? And he said, yeah, that's definitely an option. If you're going to face somebody that's going to keep the ball at the low part of the zone, he can fill up a lineup with a bunch of swings that are tailor-made to pitches low. Then if you turn around and face a rise ball pitcher, he's got swings in the lineup that are tailor-made for those types of pitches. What a luxury to have so many powerful, confident bats in your lineup.
And a handful like Maya Davis they can hit it all. Rise ball, drop ball.
That is very true.
This is into left field for a leadoff base hit. Davis gonna try and stretch it to 2, and she's in there.
Right on cue, not a bad pitch. This is a good location for this pitch. Low and away to Maya Davis, but to your point, Chucky, she can do a little bit of everything. That one almost looked like it was gonna go in there for ball 4, but Maya Davis goes after it and hammers it out into the gap, out to Kate Carrier in left field, who gets rid of it quickly. But the speed of Maya Davis, able to get a double on that one.
First pitch ball to Williams, who started the tournament slow but went 3 for 4 earlier today in their win over NC State. Scored 3 times, drove in 1 run. Good spot on the inside corner from List. Mia Williams, a transfer from Florida, 2 years there, second-team All-American last season, 19 home runs, 44 RBIs. She just exploded as a sophomore, way out in front of that pitch for strike 2. List ahead 1-2. Just misses. Texas Tech came to the plate 4 times in their run rule victory over NC State. They scored at least 2 runs every inning, and they scored 6 in the 4th. Off speed from List. That's pretty.
Really sells this changeup extremely well, coming in about 54 miles per hour, but it mirrors that drop ball that she's bringing in the high 60s, so you could tell it just totally froze Mia Williams in there for the backwards K on Peyton List.
The third baseman, Taylor Panel. This is back-to-back second-team All-American transfers. And then Jazzy Burns in the cleanup spot breaks up that trend because she wasn't a second-team All-American. She was a first-team All-American transfer.
There was a part of me that wondered, too, before this season started, with so many players that have so many great offensive numbers. You just look at Tennessee numbers for Taylor Panel. 348 career average, 25 home runs, over 100 RBIs during her time with the Lady Volunteers. I was wondering if they would come over to Texas Tech and almost put more pressure on themselves to try to step up to the level that they've been surrounded with so many other good bats. But to me, it seems like it's almost been a seamless transition for these players with the way that they've gotten off to this incredible 10-0 start this season.
Panel to second, and a nice jumping grab by Madison Edwards for the second out.
Really nice play by Madison Edwards, and all of a sudden, after that double by Maya Davis, you could feel the momentum shifting towards the Texas Tech dugout, and now all of a sudden, a strikeout and a line drive out over to second base, and now that momentum shifting back over into that dugout for the Dukes.
Bounces in, nice job behind the dish by Arredondo to keep it in front. Texas Tech almost hit 500 with 2 outs against NC State. drove in 5 of their 11 runs, or excuse me, 14 runs. They had 11 hits. You see where I'd get confused with
it's a lot of offense.
numbers.
A lot of offense. That's my officially unofficial stat for their hitting numbers. A lot of offense.
I like your analysis.
It's hard hitting stuff.
Literally. That one bounces out of the glove of Arredondo. Davis is now up to third.
PK Arredondo back behind the plate too. A lot of versatility with her for James Madison this season. She was playing first base in their first game down here in Clearwater against the Lady Volunteers. Made a really nice diving catch over at first base this game, back behind the dish.
Arredondo was a JUCO Player of the Year last year at St. John's River State. Spent 2 seasons there as Jazzy Burns walks. It's just not going to be easy for Peyton List or any pitcher that faces this lineup, and that's where the mental side of this kind of comes into play. Sure, 2 base runners, but you put a 0 on the board. That is a massive win, no matter what happened.
Yeah, you know what? I was thinking about this, too, coming into the game. If I'm Peyton List, how am I going about facing this lineup? And I know typically we say to limit the free passes, but I think giving up a walk here or there might not hurt you. What you cannot give up is the big hit after the free pass. You have to be able to sit down that next batter. And that's a good way to do it, off to an 0-2 start against Desiree Spearman, pumping in that 54-mile-per-hour changeup.
This is where the streak of All-American transfers does hit a snag. Desiree Spearman was just the Conference USA Freshman and Player of the Year last year. She takes that pitch, and Burns is going to take second. Off the end of the bat, and bobble just a moment, then a low throw, another run coming home, the tag is there. So Texas Tech does get 1, but a nice throw from LeGrand at first to Arredondo to cut down Burns.
A little bit of a miscue over at shortstop leads to a run for Texas Tech, but then it's the defense coming back and making a play to end the inning with a play at the plate. I think they said yes. Love that.
James Madison traveled really well.
Yes, they did.
Clearwater.
Enjoying this warm weather.
Which is really no surprise. It is a very passionate fan base. They've seen a lot of success in a number of sports in recent years. In the last 15, 20 years, I think back to the run that women's basketball went on with Kenny Brooks, who is now the head coach at Kentucky. Think back to softball and some of the massive names that we have seen at James Madison, Jalen Ford and Megan Good and Odyssey Alexander.
I don't know about you, but when I think of the Women's College World Series, there's a couple of plays that stick out to me.
Nice play over at third. That one sticks out from panel.
Making that backhand look easy. But I think I know you know where I'm going with this play. Odyssey Alexander diving at the plate to get the runner. They were playing against Oklahoma State, trying to get the runner going to the plate. Dove to get her to apply that tag. Just one of those memorable moments that I will never forget. She was so much fun to watch play in college and then continue to watch play professionally.
Bella Hensler, the next batter up to face Samantha Lincoln. Back at Lincoln, who knocks it down, and Hensler's gonna beat it out.
Really nice swing by Bella Hensler, smoking this one straight back up the middle. We talked about it earlier. Samantha Lincoln is bringing the heat out there, 71 miles per hour. This time it's a curveball that she's trying to run in on the hands of Hensler, and she gets barrel out in front of her, hustles down the line to beat that one out. solid base hit to get things going for the Dukes.
Lauren Laporte, 9 years as the head coach. She came, though, in 2012 with Mickey Dean. Spent 3 years at Radford under Dean as an assistant coach. And when you talk about the history of this James Madison program, Lauren Laporte has been there for a lot of those big names we talked about and a lot of those great moments that they have had, whether it be as an assistant or as a head coach. She was the head coach of that 2021 team that you're talking about that started 2-0 in Oklahoma City. One pitch swung through by Legsden. I mentioned Kenny Brooks. Kirk Signetti, well, he's a pretty popular guy right now in the state of Indiana.
Indiana football was pretty exciting to watch this year. Fernando Mendoza, quarterback for them, going on and winning that national championship.
Mark Byington, Bob Chesney, and more. You always feel like there's more coming. There's other rising stars, whether it be players or coaches at James Madison. They get the lead runner and there's 2 outs.
A couple of plays over at the hot corner for Taylor Panel at third base. Fielded that one, fired it over to 2. Kind of had to make a decision. Did she go across to 1 or does she try to get the lead runner? Decides to go for 2 and gets that lead out.
These two teams didn't play each other in the college football playoff, but it is a matchup here in Clearwater where both schools were represented in the college football playoff this year. That first pitch fouled back by Madison Edwards, the second baseman, junior from Berryville, Virginia. Solid opening weekend. The Dukes only played 3 games. It's one of the smaller sample sizes of any team here in Clearwater, but they started the year 2-1. Their lone loss to North Carolina. They were in Chapel Hill. Strike 2. In the dirt, ball 1. One-two off speed upstairs. Runner goes and is safe. Oh, and she walked off the bag for a second. I wasn't sure if she knew she was safe. That scared me for a second.
Watching that one live, I thought Mia Williams came over and applied that tag to Callie Legsden. Let's take another look at it here. She comes across, swipes back. Did she get the left arm? The only reason I'm thinking maybe she didn't was the follow-through tag. She kind of followed her on that slide back to the base. Take another look at it here. Oh yeah, she missed her on that first swipe. Yeah, I'm with you. Legsden right here just kind of takes a couple of steps off. Maybe she thought that Mia Williams had already thrown the ball back into the pitcher circle. She's safe either way.
2-2 to Edwards. 3-2. Nice little battle from Madison Edwards to get back in this. Foul ball.
We have a great bird's eye view of these pitches that are coming out of the hand of Samantha Lincoln, and they have some sharp bite in on the hands of these right-handed batters. You hear me talk about it a lot in terms of the drop ball and anticipating the drop and the depth that the pitch is going to have on it. Same concept holds for these pitches working their way inside to the righties. You really have to try to get it further out in front of you because it's going to feel like it's getting on your barrel a lot faster than it already is.
She is an imposing figure in the circle, too. They list her at 6 feet tall, and just feels like she is bearing down on hitters.
I think there's something deceptive about her delivery, too, because there's almost a nonchalantness in her delivery, in her motion, in her windup, but then the ball comes out at 68, 71 miles per hour. I might have just made up a new word there with nonchalantness, but you know what I mean.
I think you can put an S on the end of anything.
And I mean that in the best way possible, too. It's very effortless when she lets go of the pitch.
Hard hit ball right to Williams. Couple zeros for Samantha Lincoln to start this game off. Our second 13-game day. Sydney Lessentine perfect through 5 innings, leading Texas A&M to a win over NC State. And Georgia, Madison, they can't stop hitting.
48 runs in 5 games. As 8 shy of the Clearwater Invitational record. And how about Jordy Fromm, the complete game shutout plus 2 home runs versus UCF earlier today.
And more games going on right now. Florida Atlantic trailing Missouri 2-0. We will see Florida Atlantic tomorrow playing James Madison. Tennessee UCLA over on ESPNU. That is a heavyweight matchup.
Look at that, a little bit of a squeeze over there for Tennessee. The Lady Volunteers using some small ball to score a run in this game. You don't see the squeeze play every day, but it is one of the most difficult plays to defend when it's executed properly.
Line drive in the left center field, and it's gonna roll from Lauren Allred. A leadoff double in the second.
From watching a squeeze on the other field to not a lot of small ball happening over here for Texas Tech because they are just mashing the ball. Lauren Allred driving this one out into that left center gap, rolls off of the bottom of the wall, and she's gonna stand up easily into second base for a leadoff double.
We saw Lauren Allred with the most diabolical mid-game meal or between-game meal. She was eating a hot dog and it looked like she had an iced coffee.
You say diabolical, I say delicious.
I did say it wasn't delicious.
You know what, if it leads to doubles too, I'd keep eating it.
Exactly, now it's tradition. It'll become a problem for her to find an iced coffee at a ballpark all over the country. 1-1 count to Alana Johnson, one of the returners from that Women's College World Series runner-up team last year. A couple years at Washington to start her career, and was one of Texas Tech's best bats a year ago. Tennessee just hit a grand slam next door from what we are hearing over the PA system. Swing and a miss from Johnson.
Going from some small ball to the long ball with that grand slam.
Yeah, I noticed when we had the quad box, you pointed out the Lady Vols. I don't know what that's about.
There was action happening right there in the quad box. How could I not talk about the squeeze play?
Alana Johnson off the end of the bat to center field. 1 out.
Let's take a look at today's keys to the game, brought to you by Shriners Children's Hospital. For James Madison, keeping it simple, keep the ball in the ballpark. Chucky, you and I were talking about it. It's okay if you give up a free pass or two, but you got to make sure you get the next batter and you keep the ball on the corners. And for Texas Tech, keep your foot right on the gas pedal. You want to keep that offensive momentum rolling because we know that they've been on fire through the first 10 games.
That was a great pitch right there from Peyton List to start off Nigeri Kennedy. All red on second with 1 out for Nyjah. Swings through it, strike 2. Kennedy did not hit in their win over NC State. Didn't pitch either. Got a chance to take a little break. Ground ball back to List. Goes to first, and the runner Allred is able to advance to third. You think List could have?
Yeah, she was thinking about it for a second. She definitely had eyes on Lauren Allred, and Allred was caught hanging right in between. I think that's maybe why Peyton List has a smile on her face right now, because she caught her right in the middle between second and third base, right here, stares at her, and then kind of decides to go ahead and get the sure out over at first base. Smart base running, too, by Allred to take third after realizing she was going to throw over to first base. I think for a moment, too, Allred was thinking about running back to second base.
And at the end of the day, kind of what you talked about with what James Madison has to do, like, you still get an out.
Absolutely. Get outs when you have those opportunities.
Caitlin Terry at the plate in the 9-hole. Hard hit ball smothered by LeGrand. Nice play by the James Madison first baseman, and that is the first time Texas Tech has not scored in an inning today.
Another really good freshman for Florida State. Could be a battle of the freshmen tomorrow.
It's fun seeing the freshmen play with that type of emotion, and we've seen that with UCLA too. And a lot of what we hear from Kelly Inouye Perez is that is influenced by Megan Grant and Jordan Woolry to kind of play with that kind of energy. I think when you think of Carlin Pickens, as this is flared to left for out number 1 off Lacey St. Jean's bat, when you think of Carlin Pickens, that's how she pitches, with so much emotion and so much fire that you would think those freshmen are kind of empowered by that.
I feel like you've watched Tennessee over the past couple of years, too, really grow in showing that passion and showing that energy out there on the field. Think back to Kiki Malloy and the way that she played for the Lady Volunteers. So much fire and competitiveness.
First pitch swinging for Emily LeGrand, who had that great defensive play, but grounds out here, and that's a quick 2 outs for Samantha Lincoln in the third.
And every team's going to have a bit of a different personality, too. You might have some quieter teams out there, but you figure out what are your strengths as a team, what makes you come together in some of the game's toughest moments. Looks like Gabby Leach over there.
Into left field. Top of the order, getting it going here with 2 outs. Gleason's first hit of the day.
She's done really well so far in this Invitational, too. Had a couple of singles against Tennessee in their ball game yesterday. Finds the grass here on this line drive out to left field with 2 away. Some really good bat-to-ball, hand-eye coordination for Kylie Gleason leading off the Dukes.
Emma Jo Evans struck out swinging her first trip to the plate. Fouls that toward the Texas Tech dugout for strike 1. Had 4 hits entering the weekend from their opening 3 games. They all came in their win over Elon. 4 for 4 in that game, stole a couple bases. 1-1. One-two from Lincoln. Off speed. Evans fights it off.
Emma Jo Evans, a freshman playing shortstop for the Dukes this season, too. Had a really nice diving play. Didn't get the out in that game against Tennessee, but sometimes the little things like keeping the ball in front, preventing the ball from getting out to the grass can help save your team a run. And a common theme that we've been talking about for the past couple of days is the defense. We're all about the defense up here in the booth.
Runner goes, throw is there, tag is there, and it's an out. Gleason caught stealing. It is a James Madison team that does like to run. They had 9 stolen bases in the opening weekend.
JMU trying to put pressure on this Texas Tech defense, but Jazzy Burns says, not today.
Softball Saturday. Jerry Glasgow, historic 2025 season for Texas Tech. National runners-up to Texas, and then opened this season tied in the preseason poll for first.
When you see how many firsts there were for this Texas Tech program, of course, those 54 wins, a program record, first Big 12 regular season and conference tournament championship, first trip to the Women's College World Series. And they're still hungry. They want that national championship.
Jerry Glasgow had a great track record as an assistant in the SEC and then as a head coach at Louisiana. So they entrusted him with moving this program forward. It's a buy-in in Lubbock for softball. They went and got the best player in the country in Nigeri Kennedy last year. And now they have surrounded her with a top 3 level lineup on the offensive side. And my guess is after this weekend, they're not going to be 2 and they're not going to be 3. The way this is trending.
Well, and that's just how deep this entire team is, too, because you and I were chatting before the game trying to see when the last time Nigeri Kennedy started a game in this tournament. She's only started 1 game for Texas Tech. And that shows you not just oftentimes when you think of Texas Tech, you think of the depth that they have offensively, but the depth in the circle. Sam Lincoln throwing a good game so far here against James Madison, but Caitlin Terry coming over too was a big boost for them in the pitcher circle.
Off the end of the bat in the middle of the field, Edwards tracks it down, 1 out. That's 4 straight retired now for Peyton List after a leadoff double in the second.
Peyton List doing a really nice job of hitting those corners too, keeping the ball low, occasionally working it up. We've seen her throw in that changeup. Not easy to hold down this Texas Tech offense, especially now going through the order for a second time.
They had doubled the lead off the first and second innings. List misses outside in her second look at Mia Williams, who she struck out looking in the first.
Got her on that changeup in the first inning. I think that was the first changeup that she had thrown in the ball game.
Ground ball left side, diving stop by the freshman shortstop. Not going to be able to get Williams.
Still love those extra effort plays by Emma Jo Evans at short. We were just talking about how she made a similar play in their game against Tennessee, wasn't able to get the out, but when you're showing that extra effort for your pitcher, willing to go and lay out to even give yourself a chance to make a play, I think that goes a long way for your pitcher out there in the circle.
Texas Tech 0 for 6 with runners on base. List misses low. The first pitch to Taylor Panel. Panel would have been playing in Clearwater one way or another at this time because Tennessee is playing next door. Had a great year for the Lady Vols last year. Spent 3 seasons in Knoxville. They just called Mia Williams out.
Looks like she was called out for leaving early over at first base. She took off over to second base, possibly had a hit and run in play. Remember, you cannot leave the base until the pitcher releases the ball. Looks like maybe by about a step or two, she was leaving early. Yeah, that ball is definitely still in Peyton List's hand when Mia Williams took off.
A fairly easy call for first base umpire Jacob Agee. So nobody aboard for panel.
List throwing a heavy dose of those drop balls throughout this game. Mid-60s consistently that we're seeing from her. Some of these not missing by too much. Low out of the zone. I'd love to see her mix in some of those pitches at the top part of the zone too, just to change that eye level a bit. There it is. Get something else moving in a different direction. Get these batters to think about a different pitch.
Full count to panel. Popped up and not playable.
Ran out of room. High fives all around though from Peyton List to her infielders, Emily LeGrand and PK Arredondo, doing everything they can to try to get that out over there. Just needed about 2 or 3 more feet of room in that backstop.
Another 3-2 from List. Off speed. Panel waited as long as she could for it. Taylor played the last 2 years at Tennessee. The year before in 2023 missed most of it with an injury. Got her swinging. That's big time from Peyton List on the 8th pitch of the at-bat.
A battle back and forth between Peyton List and Taylor Panel. After Panel fouls one off hard down the left field line, List comes back with that rise ball up and away. Second strikeout on the day for Peyton List.
Beating James Madison 1-0 through 3 innings. We're joined by Texas Tech second-year head coach Jerry Glasgow. Coach, you were really high on Samantha Lincoln in our calls this week, and obviously we're seeing why right now. What was it about her offseason that got you excited about year 2?
Well, she came in the fall of her freshman year throwing 63, 64, and she just worked herself really hard in the weight room. She had a broken arm, so she wasn't able to throw, but she was able to work in the weight room. And she come out of that weight room in November throwing 69 and then hit as high as 73 in the spring. And we're just super high on her. She's an extremely hard worker, great kid, got a great attitude. We just got to keep her going, got to get her growing.
Coach, in the first inning, you guys were able to push a run across, but Peyton List is spinning it really well out there in the circle. What sort of adjustments do you want to see from your offense moving forward?
Well, we got to be more aggressive on the fastball. I mean, she's got a great off-speed pitch, and she throws hard. I don't know what she's throwing tonight, but I remember when she was a freshman, I was at Louisiana, she was 70 at times in, 69, 70. And so you got to be aggressive. You can't be tentative on her, and I think right now we're just not being quite aggressive enough on the hard stuff.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you.
Jerry Glasgow, the hitting guru, but also knows himself some pitching talent. That's what Samantha Lincoln is for them as a sophomore pitcher. 3 innings, 2 hits, no runs, a strikeout, no free passes. It's been really impressive from Lincoln. Hard hit ground ball left side, taken care of by Spearman. 1 out as they retire Evans.
Seen this James Madison lineup, even though they haven't been able to tally up a ton of hits, they have been hitting the ball solid to these infielders for Texas Tech, and a lot of credit to the infielders for making those plays on those hard hit ground balls.
This is almost the least amount of run support a pitcher for Texas Tech has had all year. Only Florida State has held Tech to fewer runs through 3 innings. This fouls it back for strike 1. second team to hold them to a run or fewer through 3. And that is Peyton List in this defense. Lincoln down and in. You asked Jerry Glasgow about the offense. Really, he's highly regarded for his ability to work with hitters. What is it that you've heard from him in the past or seen that you feel like he connects so well with specifically the offense?
Well, I think when he looks at hitters and he looks at swings specifically, nice looking changeup there by Samantha Lincoln, he likes to let the hitters be themselves. He's not going to just put everybody into the same box, have everybody have the same swing, but what are their strengths? How do they like to stand in the box? What pitches do they like to go after? And then he just continues to help give them adjustments and give them encouragement to continue to make them better and develop them. I think Maya Davis is a great example, too, of watching her progress throughout her career. Really started off as a small ball type of lefty player, a lot of slaps, a lot of bunts, and has continued to get better and better when it comes to the power side of her game. And for me, thinking from an opponent standpoint, defensively, really hard to defend against somebody like Maya Davis because she does have that power, but also you have to respect the speed that she has coming from the left side, too.
Two count, the two starting pitchers facing off. And this fouls that to stay alive. Peyton List back-to-back first team all-conference in the Sun Belt, the freshman of the year in 2024. Had 10 wins in each of the last 2 seasons, and the offensive numbers have been off the charts.
Really good take there, too. That plate discipline, watching that drop ball work inside. You get into those 2 strike counts, easy to kind of go after some of those pitches.
Jerry Glasgow just called time, and then Tara Archibald is going to come out, their pitching coach, and his daughter to talk to Lincoln.
Interesting conversation there, pretty quick conversation out in the circle. Wonder if he's thinking here he does not want to let Peyton List get on via walk. And she's battling her way through this at bat too, fouling off that changeup, seeing another pitch.
Glasgow almost seemed upset about something. That little interaction, not with Samantha Lincoln, but maybe one of the umpires. 3-2, 9th pitch coming from Lincoln. List kind of off the handle, right to Allred, and there's 2 outs. That was a battle.
Making her throw a lot of pitches. Peyton List fouling off a bunch of different ones, and like we talked about, that take on that pitch on the inside part of the plate allows you to see another pitch, and not just yourself in your at-bat, but allows your teammates to see another pitch. So they're gaining information with every single at-bat.
PK Arredondo takes ball 1 inside. (2-0) to Arredondo, who is a Florida native from Center Hill. She only had 1 hit on the opening weekend. She walked 5 times. So had the 3rd best on base percentage on the team after 3 games. And back up the middle, that's a base hit.
worked her way into a hitter's count, a 2-0 count, and to me, I think it goes back to that at-bat by Peyton List. She saw 9 pitches, and then when PK Arredondo comes into her at-bat, it's like she's almost seeing a full at-bat's worth of pitches before she even steps into that batter's box. Hitter's count, gets a pitch she wants, smokes it back up the middle for a 2-out single.
And Laporte gonna run for Arredondo over at first base with Reagan Warner, freshman from Harrisonburg.
In the 4 spot, 2 for 25. Jersey number 2, Reagan Warner.
This is down with ball 1. This is Bella Hensler, the DP, had an infield single that went back off of Lincoln in the 2nd inning. .2-0 from Lincoln. Up the middle, tough spot, and it's down in center. James Madison with a little 2-out magic here in the 4th.
Hensler now with base hits in both of her at-bats. Hit it hard back up the middle, her first at-bat. This time gets it a little bit further off of the end of the bat, but hits it enough to drop it right out into center field, out in front of Maya Davis. Little 2-out rally here for the Dukes.
They've got 4 hits to just 3 for Texas Tech. Hensler at first, Reagan Warner at second base, and a huge opportunity for Callie Legston, the sophomore. Preseason All-Sun Belt third baseman, returning starter, drove in 31 runs a season ago. Takes strike 1 on the outside corner. She's got pop too, 11 doubles, 7 home runs last year. Up high, ball 1.
The plate discipline that we've seen from James Madison in this inning is really making Samantha Lincoln work out there in the circle.
Is fouled off of Legston for strike 2.
An impressive stat for the Dukes, too. 3 for 5 with 2 outs so far today.
Tying run on second base. Swing and a miss. Lincoln comes up big with her 2nd strikeout to end the inning.
Samantha Lincoln going back upstairs to end the inning. We're going to chat with Coach Lauren Laporte on the other side.
Texas Tech leading James Madison 1-0 going to the bottom of the 4th. We're joined by James Madison head coach Lauren Laporte. Coach, you lose your opener to Tennessee, so you get rewarded with the #1 team in the country. But here you are putting together a fantastic performance. What stood out to you in these first 4 innings?
Well, I'm not going to say a whole lot right now. I'm just loving the way we're playing and, again, competing. And I think it's important that we just stay locked in and stay in the zone and really keep supporting each other. That's what it's about.
I wanted to ask you about Peyton List out there in the circle. What is it that she brings out to the field, provides for your team, no matter if she's in the circle or up at the plate?
Well, you know, we love our two-way players, always have here. And I think, you know, Peyton just brings a little bit of swag. She's got a lot of confidence right now, pounding the zone and mixing speeds, and that's what you have to do against these hitters.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, Jalen Ford was a good one. Megan Good was a really good one.
Odyssey Alexander. I know we talked about Odyssey already today.
We mentioned it with UCLA yesterday that this recent run for them, they've kind of all passed it along. Rachel Garcia to Megan Faramo to Taylor Tinsley. It's happened a little bit at JMU. When you look back, Jalen Ford played with Megan Good. Megan Good played with Odyssey Alexander. It's just cool to see some of those stars cross over and pass on the tradition. Now, Peyton List didn't play with Odyssey, but she's the next in line.
And to have that many dominant two-way players for your program, too, is what stands out to me when I think about this program. I think about the elite pitching that they've been able to get, the clutch hitting, too, and just how exciting it is to watch those two-way players compete and perform. Really, it feels like year in and year out for the Dukes. I'm sure it makes it exciting, too, writing up a lineup every day if you're Coach Laporte.
First pitch of the fourth from List is outside. 4-5-6 coming up for Texas Tech. Led off by Jasmine Burns, junior from California, transferred from Ohio State. It's another first-team All-American transfer. Swing and a miss, strike one. Tennessee is up 11-0 on UCLA right now in the fourth inning.
Looks like a couple more home runs, too, from their offense. Emma Clark and Alana Leach getting in on the long ball action.
Two one.
Wow. 11-0. Tennessee over UCLA right now.
The most impressive number there for me is the 0 against that offense.
Especially with what we saw even last night from Megan Grant. 3 home runs yesterday between 2 games. So far 0 for 1 for Megan Grant today. Does have a walk. Only 1 hit for that UCLA offense. Kanaya Bragg with the only hit on the day for UCLA. Natalie Cable started that game for UCLA. Bryn Nally now in the game pitching.
Tennessee's going to try and end that early. UCLA is going to have 1 chance in the 5th to get at least 4 runs back to keep that game moving. That is that is one of the more shocking score lines we've seen.
Really thought it was going to be a battle of both offenses, too, with just how red hot UCLA was coming into that ball game.
UCLA has 1 more game tonight against Florida State as Jazzy Burns leads off the 4th with a walk.
And for as much as we talk about the hitting for Tennessee, how about Erin Newer? 4 innings pitched, just that 1 hit that I mentioned to Kanaya Bragg, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts against that offense.
Logan Holloman is running at first base for Texas Tech. She had the catch that led to the double play that beat Florida State the other day in a game that the Seminoles thought that was a home run.
She had just come into the game, 2 similar situations. She came in to pinch run for Jazzy Burns. I believe it was the 6th inning of that ball game, and then made that great catch at the wall, the 7th.
One on, nobody out for Spearman, who takes strike 1.
Bryn Nally just got Holly looking. Remember, Holly hit that grand slam earlier in the game.
Inside to left center field and carrying and caught on the warning track. Nice job to track it by Gleason.
we just talking about nice catches all the way up against the wall? We'll go ahead and add this one to the list by Kylie Gleason, getting a really good beat on this fly ball. Off of the bat, I thought it sounded pretty good. I thought it had a chance of making it out of here. You can watch her almost redirect her feet, trying to track that one all the way back to the warning track, cuts across here towards left field, immediately gets that ball into the infield so Holloman can advance to second.
We've felt a little bit of wind up here in the booth. It's not overly consistent, but we've felt a few little gusts come through. If anything, that would have helped that ball stay in.
Not seeing much wind.
Yeah, naturally.
Right now. You know, as soon as you talk about it, the wind usually stops.
I'm going to blame Johnny Hanna, our director, for that shot. Thanks, Johnny. And then the 5-mile-per-hour wind drop on the bug. This is fantastic. Our crew,
oh, there we go. There we go.
Our crew has had enough of us.
There we go.
Making a mockery of us, and they're me in the booth at least. 2-0 low, runner goes. Good throw. Did she catch it? I think it came out of her glove maybe. Or did it?
Still a really nice throw by PK Arredondo back behind the plate. Holloman diving into second base. Emma Jo Evans, the freshman, running over to second base to cover. She's in a good spot here, gets a good jump, lines up her feet. Looked like a short hop coming into the glove. I think that ball never made it into her glove. She just kind of knocked it down right here, picks it up with her bare hand. Right there.
All red walks. She's reached twice now today. And a timeout for the Dukes. Sam Gress-Scruggs going to talk to Peyton List in the circle, try to calm things down here while Lauren Laporte talks to her defense. And they're bringing everybody in, outfielders and infielders, to talk to the head coach.
Sam Gress-Scruggs with a phenomenal playing career of her own. Started off her career at Charlotte, transferred over to South Carolina with Ashley Chastain Woodard. Remember calling one of her games when Charlotte was playing against Clemson, and I was so impressed. That was earlier in her career and just continued to grow and develop. Outstanding couple of years for her. And now she's on staff here with James Madison.
Batting for Texas Tech, number 21, Alana Johnson.
Alana Johnson with a big opportunity for the Red Raiders. I mentioned they scored multiple runs in all 4 innings they came to the plate against NC State earlier today. They've been held scoreless in 2 of the 3 innings and only scored 1 in the first. Slow roller. Chance? No, they will go to first instead. Maybe they might try and roll a pair, but there are 2 outs now.
Yeah, I think that's a smart play, though, by Emma Jo over at shortstop, because that ball was hit off at the end of the bat for Alana Johnson, so it was rolling a little bit slower to her. It almost seemed like she would have had to throw behind her to get that out over at second base, so I think that's a smart move. Even though both runners move into scoring position, smart move to go ahead and get that out over at first.
First pitch strike to Nyjah Kennedy.
Continue to see more and more examples of what Coach Laporte was talking about with Peyton List, just pounding the zone, mixing speeds. Just has felt like throughout this game, Texas Tech's offense has not been able to consistently get on a roll, hasn't been able to find their timing against Peyton List.
Ball 1. Saw the 1 home run, 6 RBIs for Nyjah. 4 of them came on a grand slam against North Texas on opening weekend. 11 last year, 4 in the Women's College World Series. Not on that pitch, though.
Pulling the string on that changeup, just straight filth. from Peyton List.
One-two count. List trying to strand a pair and does! And a big fist pump from Peyton List. She is spinning it today.
I think the only thing that fires me up more than great defense is back-to-back nasty change-ups. That's exactly what we just saw from Peyton List in the inning.
We saw Fromm today, complete game shutout against UCF. We have not seen Nigeri much this weekend. We have seen a lot of Caitlin Terry, including earlier today in the win over NC State. 5 innings, 2 hits, just 1 run, 8 strikeouts. And she enters the game for Sam Lincoln.
Look at that, 30 strikeouts in just over 18 innings pitched so far this year. We've already seen her do it all today. Started out in left field. She's batting, and now she's in there in the pitcher's circle. Has that rise ball that she's going to work at the top of the zone. Curveball combination in there, too. Devastating changeup that she'll throw at will.
And she is standing there next to Taylor Pannell, who I mentioned would be here regardless. If she would have stayed at Tennessee next door, they would be playing against each other right now if they were still at their former schools. Terry transferring from UCLA, Pannell from Tennessee.
Mia Williams transferred over from Florida.
Waiting to get all the changes in order right now, of which we have many. How about this? The away team on this field is 8-0 this year. 5 upset wins, with 4 of them against top 10 teams.
Something about Field 9 and the away teams.
Some of the graphics you just don't know you need, but you really need. That is a good one. 7-8-9 for James Madison to start off against Caitlin Terry. And the first 2 balls to Madison Edwards. She's ahead in the count 2-0. It's just popping the mitt, but it's 3-0. Terry not sure where that missed. Strike 1.
Got a lot of changes that you're going to see defensively now for Texas Tech. Longi Quiroga back there behind the dish. Logan Holloman out in left field. Desiree Spearman over in right field. Move from short to right. Haley Toney now in at shortstop. And Caitlin Terry coming in from left field into the pitcher's circle.
All your usual stuff, you know. 3-2, fouled back. Seven, 8, 9 in the order. 0 for 3 the first time through for James Madison. A line out, a fly out, and a ground out. 7th pitch. Terry wins the battle.
Goes back upstairs here, 68 miles per hour in the top part of the zone with this rise ball. Really good spin and late break on this pitch too. And the way that Caitlin Terry almost hides her pitches back behind her as a right-handed batter, you're not seeing that pitch until it's all the way out of her hand. So that just leads to the deception and why you see some of these players having late swings against that rise. Oh yeah, it's coming in at 68 too, that helps.
So you can't see it at the beginning and you can't see much of it on the way there.
Tough to hit, tough to hit.
Mia Tribal pinch hitting, freshman from Beverly Hills, Michigan. There is strike 1. Had a 2-for-4 start to the season last weekend, played in 3 games, didn't make a start, then a 3-run home run in her lone at bat in their loss against North Carolina. That was a big-time swing, but it's strike 2. Swing and a miss on 3 pitches.
3 pitches and 3 straight rise balls for Caitlin Terry going up against Mia Tribal. 68 miles per hour, and again, you see the way that her body stays closed. So even to these lefties, it's still hard to see coming out of her hand. Really good late break up in the zone with that pitch.
Ball 1 to Emily LeGrand. It's 2 strikeouts for Terry, and she started off Madison Edwards, the leadoff hitter this inning, 3-0. Oh, line shot up the middle off the bat of LeGrand. James Madison likes hitting with 2 outs these last couple innings.
Almost at this point, I think they're thinking in that dugout, just go ahead and put 2 outs on the scoreboard and then we'll hit from there. 3 for 5 with 2 outs. Hammers this ball right back up the middle. LeGrand with a really good swing, showing some pop in her bat too. Had 2 home runs last weekend with 6 RBIs. Hard hit line drive back up the middle.
First pitch swinging, Kylie Gleason swings through it. Gleason we've seen in center field. She is a returning starter, but mainly in left field last year. Had 53 hits, hit .363. Held back on that pitch for ball 1. 1 year at South Carolina back in 2021. Was a starter for the Dukes in 2023. Missed 24 with injury. This is down the left side, out of play.
Really good barrel control that I'm seeing from Kylie Gleason going through the zone. A lot of the base hits that we've seen so far in this tournament, she's actually hitting line drives out to the outfield. Typically when you think of lefty slappers, they're trying to get the ball on the ground. They're trying to hit the top part of the softball. But she has really good barrel control moving through the zone, so she's almost able to spot these line drives out into the grass.
Ball 2.
Really nice pitch from Caitlin Terry. Backdoor curve to the lefty slapper. Moving through the box, it's already going to feel like it's getting in on her hands even faster than the 68. Bites off that one coming in at 70 miles per hour.
Jerry Glasgow was sharing some words with the home plate umpire, John Chambers, who has heard enough, and Jerry retreats to the end of the dugout for the time being. There is strike 3 on the outside corner, you might call it. And that will end the inning.
3 strikeouts in the inning for Caitlin Terry. Goes back away with this curveball, gets the call. Into production behind her, but what a statement for that team to make. 11 runs against UCLA, and also the job that Aaron Newer did in the circle too against that UCLA offense.
At times that was the question for Tennessee last year too, and then you lose Nugent behind the plate, you lose Panel. You wonder where it's going to come from. These freshmen are talented. as well as the transfers. Caitlin Terry trying to help her own cause here in the bottom of the 5th inning, is behind Peyton List 0-2. Confidence that this performance from Peyton List, despite whatever happens in the next 3 innings, will have to go a long way, you would think, as Terry sprays one over the head of Legston at third base.
The response that we've seen from Peyton List, too, whenever Texas Tech has been able to get a batter on base, she immediately comes back and gets a big out after that. You look at the Maya Davis double back in the 1st inning, comes back with a strikeout looking against Mia Williams. A walk to Jazzy Burns in the 4th inning, followed up by a fly ball out to center field by Desiree Spearman. So it's the at-bats after she lets somebody get on that have been standing out to me, and the way that she's been sticking around the zone the entire game.
Texas Tech's had their leadoff on 4 times, but they are 0 for 9 with runners on. Jerry Glasgow wants to talk things over with Terry and the next few batters in the order. What's this conversation from Jerry Glasgow? What do you think he's telling them?
A little bit of strategy on how they want to approach Peyton List, because here we are going 3rd time through the order for the Texas Tech Red Raiders. What sort of adjustments do they want to make offensively? What do they want to look for? Because you know that Texas Tech is inching for some insurance runs. That 1 run does not feel safe with the way that James Madison has been swinging the bat so far today.
Maya Davis out in front of that pitch.
We even heard him talking earlier today about how he was wanting his hitters to go after more of the hard stuff, go after the rise ball, go after the drop ball, so that you're not having to mess around with the changeup. And Maya Davis way out in front of that changeup on that swing.
Davis lays down the bunt. She's got great speed and she's safe.
And when you take a big hack like that, sometimes you can back up the corner infielders, and then what do? Lay down this perfectly executed bunt for a base hit. Callie Legston doing whatever she can to make a play on this one, throwing it on the run, but it's the speed of Maya Davis that's going to beat that bunt out all day long.
Now a chat with Peyton List here, with Mia Williams at the plate, who entering the weekend led them in almost every offensive category. She hit 3 home runs on opening weekend, drove in 13. Her and Maya Davis as a 1-2 punch, whichever way you put them in the lineup, 1-2, it is going to work really well for Texas Tech. Did Williams go? She did. Strike 1.
Williams going to lay down a bunt right there, trying to advance both runners over into scoring position.
Texas Tech already on the season has a win at Texas A&M, over Florida State, over Northwestern, Florida Atlantic, NC State. Runners go, and they both advance.
Comes down to a bit of miscommunication between shortstop and Callie Legston over at third base. They're both just standing there. That's where you communicate right before that pitch is thrown who's going to have the cover. If she shows bunt, then typically third baseman charges and shortstop has the cover over at third. But if she stands in there and swings away, typically your third baseman's going to go back and cover third.
Williams fouls it back in what is becoming the biggest inning defensively for James Madison. This is crucial with just 6 outs to work with offensively. But there's nobody out and 2 in scoring position. 1-2. Off speed, Williams left side. Here comes Terry. The throw is there, the tag. No, it's not in time. Terry came flying in from third.
Sharply hit ground ball over to third base. I thought this was going to be a routine out up at the plate. Legston with a good throw over to PK Arredondo. Take a look at the slide here by Caitlin Terry. Just gets her left hand into the plate. That's pretty unbelievable. I thought the throw beat her there, but she beat the tag. She went around the tag from PK Arredondo.
Williams takes second and gives Taylor Panel a chance now with 2 in scoring position and nobody out.
The throw beat her there, but because PK Arredondo had to reach over across her body and then bring that tag back around, gave Caitlin Terry just enough time to get her hand into the plate.
List behind 2-0, 3-0. Strike one on the 3-0 count. Panel trying to make it on to set up a 25 home run, 72 RBI run producer on deck in Jasmine Burns. In the air, shallow center field, caught. Runner is not going to go. Tracked down by Edwards in the outfield.
I can't get over this slide by Caitlin Terry. Takes off running immediately and avoids the tag. To me, from the views that we're seeing, it looks like PK Arredondo did not get her glove on her. Great look there, just barely misses her helmet. What an athletic slide. The first words out of my mouth were, wow, just wow.
Guys, re-enter 12 in the 4th spot. Coach, in the 4th spot.
Base open, and it's not going to get much easier with Desiree Spearman coming up, but do you walk Jazzy Burns here?
On the plate, number 12, Jasmine.
With just 1 out to load the bases?
You're going from a player that had 25 home runs a season ago to a player on deck that had 20 home runs a season ago. I think you got to go right after these batters. You got to go right after them.
Ball 1. She has already walked twice today. Two and out.
Hung on to that changeup just a bit too long now. She's finding herself back behind in the count. 2-0 count to Jazzy Burns. Really got to make sure you're working those corners to her because she can do some serious damage when you leave it over the heart of the plate.
Three and 0 count to Burns. She's swinging 3-0.
She just barely missed that pitch too. Hard hit foul ball straight back. Green light with 3-0, love it. There was no hesitation on that swing either. She was going for it.
That's a great location for strike 2.
Peyton List battling, working these corners. Really good spot. Curveball on the outside part of the plate.
Tried to go back to it.
Really good location and a nice swing by Jazzy Burns, too, to fight that one off. She didn't want to leave that in the home plate umpire's hands. Took a hack at it, gets rid of it to see another pitch.
Three-two.
Fans on the edge of their seats watching this inning. I say this inning, really the entire game. I feel like I've been on the edge of my seat watching these two teams battle it out.
Waits on the off-speed, foul. Davis and Williams on base. Burns at the plate, about to see her 9th pitch. There's ball 4. 3 walks for Jazzy Burns in the game.
Peyton List tried to come back inside with that drop ball. I like that call there. She just wasn't able to get it up high enough to have Jazzy Burns take a cut at it. But what an at-bat by Burns, too. Battling off changeups, curveballs, well-located pitches, and works her way on base.
Laporte came out, and it looked like they might make a change, and then she kind of gave the no. So Peyton List will stay for at least this batter. Lauren Laporte is directing traffic from her dugout right now with her defense.
Looks like Taylor Johnson's in the dugout, ready to go if her name is to be called.
Bases loaded for Desiree Spearman. First pitch strike from List, pops the mid at 68. Two home runs on the season for Spearman. Opposite field, long run out and right in foul territory, tracked down, the runner's coming home and will score easily. Out number 2 for James Madison, and Texas Tech now leads 3-0.
Nice piece of hitting by Desiree Spearman just to get that ball going the opposite direction and get it deep enough to allow Maya Davis to score from third base. You know you have speed, but it's really challenging as a batter in those sac fly situations, especially when you're going up against somebody like Peyton List, who can consistently work the ball in the bottom part of the zone. So that is a really nice swing by Desiree Spearman.
Ball 1 to Allred, who's reached both trips to the plate.
Really big cut by Lauren Allred. You could tell the swings in this inning just feel a little bit different. The timing, they're starting to get there a bit more. But to Peyton List's credit, she's still keeping these pitches on both the inside and the outside part of the plate, so they have not been able to square it up consistently. Another swing and a foul ball down that left field line, so 1-2 count now for Lauren Allred. 2 away, 2 runners in scoring position. Peyton List continuing to battle out there in the circle. Tried to come inside with that pitch. Hangs onto it just a little bit too long, brings the count to 2-2. Little smile on Lauren Allred's face. Full count now to Lauren Allred. Look at that, batting 500, over 500 in the first 10 games with runners in scoring position. 0 for 10 today.
Left side, nice job to handle that on a top hop and a good play by Emma Jo Evans. Texas Tech gets 2, and they lead 3-0 going to the 6th.
We've talked about Caitlin Terry's defense. We've talked about her offense. We've talked about her pitching. We left out the base running. How about that slide to score another run for Texas Tech?
Record.
And Jordy Fromm doing what she does best, throwing complete game shutouts with a couple of home runs mixed in there as well.
You might be taking in the sunset right now,
yes. Enjoying the views.
They're done.
The sunset views, the beach views. How about the close softball game views that we've been getting all weekend long?
Ball one high from Terry to start off Emma Jo Evans, who had that really nice defensive play at the end of the 5th inning. Terry starts her off 2-0.
Oftentimes making some of those great defensive plays can carry over onto the offensive side of things, bringing that momentum over with you.
Big swing for strike one. Out straight back. Got her. Strikeout number 4 for Terry. All 4 outs that she has recorded have been strikeouts.
Fell behind in the count 2-0 to Emma Jo Evans and just continued to keep on working that rise ball at the top part of the zone. Another strikeout. The strikeouts keep racking up for Caitlin Terry.
Strike one on the outside corner to Peyton List. James Madison, although they've had runners on in the game, they have not had a leadoff on yet. Oh, 2.
Tough pitch on that backdoor curveball away from the righty Peyton List. Looks like it's going to be a ball away, and at the last minute curves back over the strike zone. Read that changeup out of the hand, followed that one down into the dirt for ball 1.
Did not tempt List enough. Swing and a miss.
Went back with the backdoor curve there after missing with that changeup and that rise ball in the top part of the zone. Goes back to that pitch outside. Such great break on this curveball as well. You can see it just curving its way back into that strike zone. Great look at it here. That last minute tail, you can really see it from that camera angle. That pitch is nasty.
Immediately goes strike one to PK Redondo. Caitlin Terry, 1 2/3, 1 hit, 5 Ks. And she's a strike away from striking out the 6 of the 7 batters she has faced. 13 total strikeouts today in the circle for Terry. This is up and away, ball one. Ground ball, Terry knocks it down and flips to first. Lights out of the bullpen for Caitlin Terry. To replace Peyton List is Taylor Johnson, a sophomore left-hander from King William, Virginia. True freshman last year through 27 innings and gets a big opportunity here against 7, 8, 9 for Texas Tech to show what she can do. It's a nice looking off-speed pitch.
That's exactly what you're going to see from Taylor Johnson out there in the circle. Has that combination of a curveball and a changeup. And when she's able to locate that pitch for strikes, it can be really difficult, especially those right-handed batters locating that pitch low and away. Saw the changeup on the first pitch, curveball on that last pitch that just misses low for ball one. How about the job that Peyton List did today, though? 5 innings, 5 hits, gave up 2 earned runs. Did have a couple of walks in there, but like we talked about earlier, that's all right. Keep the ball in the ballpark. Give your team a chance to win the ball game. And she did exactly that.
It's one of the best opposing pitching performances of the season so far against Texas Tech.
And she was going right after batters, too. Yes, there were those walks, but not because she wasn't battling.
Quiroga to left center field. Gleason has it. The other two that held Texas Tech to just 3 were Florida State and Texas A&M. Both of those were 3-2 wins for the Red Raiders. Johnson's numbers so far this year. Also a talented volleyball player in high school at King William. Jackie Liss going to get her first opportunity at the plate. Transfer from Southern Illinois, 3 times first team all-conference player there, 3-year starter as well, hit 11 home runs and drove in 48 RBIs as a junior last year, hitting about 360. And she is a substitute right now in this game for Texas Tech. That's how good this team is. And that's a 4-pitch walk to Liss, whose grandpa Joe Sr. played 8 years in the MLB. Her dad Joe Jr. reached AAA, and her Aunt Becky is a Southern Illinois softball Hall of Famer.
Baseball and softball runs in the family.
Caitlin Terry looking for maybe one more insurance run. Shows bunt and pulls back ball one.
For Texas Tech, Caitlin Terry.
Swinging away there, fouls it straight back.
Some big cuts that we're seeing from Texas Tech. A lot of foul balls that have gone straight back, which just tells me that they're right underneath it. Their timing is there, but they're underneath those pitches. A lot of credit to both Peyton List and now Taylor Johnson out there in the circle trying to make that pitch dance.
Terry tries to lay into it, didn't get everything, but placed it nicely to right field. And Terry's going to take second on the throw. So second and third now for the Red Raiders.
Some really good base running has led to the runs for Texas Tech so far today, and you're getting another example of it. This is a nice piece of hitting by Caitlin Terry. Gets this changeup off the end of the bat. You can see Jackie Liss had her eyes on that ball the entire time. Good read so that she can make it all the way to third from first base. And then Caitlin Terry following it up, watching that throw go all the way to third base, advancing the extra 60 feet. So now you have 2 runners in scoring position with just 1 away.
Davis.
And the top of the order coming up, Maya Davis has reached twice, couple hits. One was a bunt single in the 5th inning. Led off the bottom of the first with a double and scored.
Kayla Kowalik on staff with Coach Jerry Glasgow. Had an outstanding career at her time with the Kentucky Wildcats. Looks like we might see a change, possibly a runner coming in.
It's going to be Michaela Garcia running over at third base. Glasgow looking for an 11-0 start for Texas Tech in year 2 as head coach. Davis does go around, strike 2.
Michaela Garcia being over at third base reminds me of last year's Women's College World Series when she stole home against UCLA, ended up diving in between the legs of the catcher for UCLA.
Davis goes down swinging. How about that from Taylor Johnson for the 2nd out?
You can hear the crowd erupt after that big swing and miss because they know just how important each and every out is, especially once you get back towards the top half of this Texas Tech lineup. Really good movement on that pitch. That curveball that is breaking away from the left-handed batters even has a little bit of depth to that pitch as well.
Texas Tech batter, number 1, Mia Williams.
2 outs for Mia Williams, looking to capitalize on these 2 runners. Wow, it's foul, but it was a long way. It hit the pole out in left field.
She hit that so hard, it almost rolled its way back into the infield after pitting off of the pole down the left field line. Might be a dent in that pole over there.
And the dirt blocked up by Arredondo. Wow, that's crushed up the middle by Williams. 1 run scores, another comes around, and it's 5-0 Texas Tech.
After smoking that ball down the left field line, gets a rise ball at the top part of the zone, and she hammers this one right over the head of Taylor Johnson out there in the circle. Got every bit of that pitch to drive in a couple more insurance runs for Texas Tech.
First hit of the day for the Red Raiders with runners in scoring position. It bounces in. Williams will take second. Not Arredondo behind the plate anymore for James Madison. Inside ball 3. Four-pitch walk to panel.
Head coach Lauren Laporte going to come out, and pitching coach Sam Gress. Sam Gress Scruggs going to come out and have a chat with their infield and their battery. Trying to get everybody on the same page here too about the strategy in which they want to, one, pitch to these batters, but two, where they want to play it as well with 2 runners on board.
Catcher now for James Madison is Bella Hensler. She was a preseason All-Sun Belt pick last year, but she missed the season. First team All-Conference in 2024, had a great offensive year that season.
On plate number 12, Jasmine Burns.
2 on for Jazzy Burns. Walked 3 times in the game. Takes strike 1.
I'll be interested to see how Taylor Johnson decides to throw to Jasmine Burns. Even though she does have those walks on the day, she has been hitting some hard foul balls. One that sticks out to me is a foul ball off of a changeup against Peyton List. Does she go back to it? There it is, right on cue, fouls that one off. Really good pitch there to get Jazzy Burns swinging out in front.
Oh, ahead in the count, 1-2. Got her in the dirt. Another good pitch from Taylor Johnson. Texas Tech gets a couple more. It's 5-0, last chance for the Dukes.
Visit St. Pete Clearwater, and for the Texas Tech Red Raiders, it is Caitlin Terry. She started off this game playing out in left field, came into the game in relief in the pitcher's circle, ended up with 5 strikeouts, but it was her base running and her offense that stood out to me. A couple of hits, she went 2 for 3 on the day, but this slide, this dive into the plate was unbelievable. The body awareness too, to be able to get her right hand around the tag of PK Arredondo to score that run, just shows off her athleticism. And then cherry on top, she's all the way back out in left field now.
No days off, no time off.
No innings off,
Terry.
No pitches off, no outs off. Speaking of no time off, Sam Lincoln making her return back out in the circle. Started off this game, went 4 innings, gave up 3 hits, a couple of strikeouts in there too, and she has re-entered the ball game to pitch in the 7th.
Hensler leads it off for James Madison. 5-6-7 for the Dukes to try to mount something in the 7th. Strike 1 from Lincoln. Ground ball right side for Williams, 1 out. Texas Tech 2 outs away from having an opportunity to go 6-0 with a massive win tomorrow over Nebraska. That's a game we are all going to have our eyes on. Kendra Lewis will get a chance to hit. Junior from Ankeny, Iowa. Take strike one. Two hard-throwing lefties that this James Madison lineup has had to contend with today.
Kendra Lewis came in and pinch hit in their game earlier this weekend against Tennessee, ended up drawing a walk in that at-bat.
Fouls this up and out of play. 1-2 count. I don't think it was ever about coming to Clearwater for James Madison to dominate. They came here, they wanted to get challenged, figure out where they're at in this season. And after an 11-0 loss to Tennessee yesterday, I would say this is quite a good response that they've shown. The pitching performance from Peyton List and competitive at the plate. This is in the air to shallow center. Mia Williams handles it, 2 outs.
To your point, Chucky, I feel like this has been a very well-played game in both dugouts. And looking at the offense, I felt like at times James Madison was hitting the ball really hard, just happened to go right to some of these Texas Tech defenders. Their defense coming in strong. The pitching by Peyton List, she was outstanding. To be able to hold down this offense, to be able to keep them in the yard is a big deal going up against Texas Tech. And Coach Lauren Laporte talking about their big turnaround last season, how the team felt a bit disconnected at times in the early part of season, where they turned that around and they wanted to carry that into this year. I'd imagine that she is feeling like this team is connected. They're playing together just by the way that they were battling throughout this entire game.
You'll learn a lot about this team over the next 2.5 weeks or so. They go to the ECU Invitational after this, and then get to go back home, play Buffalo, Hofstra a couple times each. They'll get Michigan early in March as a chance, kind of after a little bit of a run where it's hard to match up to the Clearwater competition, so you're going to play a little bit below that, and then you'll get Michigan in early March to kind of figure out, okay, have we improved? Have we progressed? This is a team that's picked 7th in the Sun Belt preseason poll. I think what we've seen tonight, it's hard to believe.
This was a 1-0 game going into the 5th inning. Texas Tech ended up putting up 2 in the 5th and 2 in the 6th. But a battle back and forth between these two teams. We're seeing another battle up at the plate too.
Madison Edwards and Samantha Lincoln. JMU down to their final out.
Even that Tennessee game too, it was a 0-0 ball game heading into the 4th inning. Tennessee ended up putting up 4 runs in that 7th inning, where that score started to blow wide open. But a couple of close games to start off this weekend, at least through the first couple of innings of these games for James Madison.
Another one fouled off. Years leading the charge for Lauren Laporte. Trying to snap a 4-year postseason drought this year. Last time we saw him in the postseason, we saw him on the big stage, and it was Odyssey leading the Dukes in Oklahoma City. And Odyssey is still playing.
And still so much fun to watch. Peyton List watching on in the dugout, continuing that trend of 2-way players.
Off the handle, Mia Williams made every play. A ground ball, a pop-up, and a pop-up to end the game.
No doubt about it. It was a battle for both of these teams, and Texas Tech just willing their way to a win. Caitlin Terry was outstanding for them in the circle and with her base running, and the base running to me made the difference. We saw good defense on both sides, but Texas Tech just chipping away, figuring out a way to win against these James Madison Dukes.
Texas Tech improves to 11-0 on the season. They've got one more game left here in Clearwater. It's against Nebraska tomorrow night on ESPN. Could we get Nitri Kennedy against Jordy Fromm? We will find out. For Madison Shipman, Aaron Snyder-Storm, Johnny Hanna, and our entire crew, I'm Chucky Kemp. We thank you for joining us. We will see you on Sunday.